What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I'm here to do my final quick hit scouting report video of the week. This one being for the Tennessee Titans. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, this past week, on Sunday, the Tennessee Titans beat the Indianapolis Colts to go, 6-2 on the season, dropping the Colts to 3-5. They're actually 4-5 because they just played the Jets on Thursday night. But obviously that doesn't really matter because we already played the Colts, so we don't care about the Colts. The Titans, though, on the other hand, by the way, they lost Derrick Henry in this game. He sustained a foot injury that he ended up having to have surgery on. But there is some chance based off of the timetable that I've seen for him to recover. It's like 6 to 10 weeks. If he's out 10 weeks, then he's going to be out right up until, the postseason, right up until playoffs. So if he doesn't come back until then, then, the Titans, I still expect them, they're 6-2 right now. I still expect them to win the division and make it to the playoffs. So he would be back in time for the playoffs if that was the case. But if he comes back sooner, then there is some chance that he could come back for, and be back for the Dolphins game. And I just have the feeling that, similarly to how Tyrod Taylor just came back for this Texans game that we're about to play tomorrow, I feel like it's going to be the same thing. Because that'll put him at about 8 weeks. Or 8 or 9 weeks. That'll put him at about 8 or 9 weeks into his recovery process. So I have a feeling that he's going to end up playing when we play Tennessee. But they brought in Adrian Peterson, which I thought was actually a really good move and something the Dolphins should have thought about doing. But of course, they don't give a fuck about their running backs and whether or not they have a legit running game. So of course they didn't. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit off topic. Real quick, though, I wanted to mention, because I forgot to yesterday in my video, that the Dolphins, not only did they put Devontae Parker on IR, but they signed a linebacker from the Bengals after they waived him, Darius Hodge. He's basically just a nobody, so, a body on the roster. But anyway, let's get back to this. So the Tennessee Titans did get the win 34-31 over the Indianapolis Colts. And let's get into the statistics. So Tennessee had 340 total yards, surrendering 307. They had 247 passing yards, letting up 224. They had 93 on the ground, giving up 83 to Indy. They had 5 yards per play, giving 4.3 to the Colts. They did not lose a fumble, but they did get one from the Colts. They threw 2 interceptions and also got 2 interceptions off the Colts. Tennessee allowed 3 sacks and got one of their own. Tennessee was 47% on third down, allowing 43%. The Titans had it for 34-59, allowing the Colts to have it for 30-58. Obviously, this went into overtime. Tennessee had 11 penalties. Indy had 9. Okay, moving on. So add some context to the defensive perspective. They allowed Carson Wentz to go 27-51, 231 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jonathan Taylor had 16 rushes, 70 yards, 1 touchdown, and a 4-4. Carson Wentz, 3 rushes, 11 yards, and a 3-7. Michael Pittman, 10 of 15, 86 and 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, 3 of 4, 52. Zach Pascal, 5 of 8, 43. Nyheim Hines, 4 of 5 for 22. T.Y. Hilton, 2 of 5 for 16. Jack Doyle, 2 of 2 for 12 and a touchdown. But yeah, so, even if Derrick Henry does end up being out of the game, I still don't really like our chances. It obviously makes it better, our chances better against the Titans. And I did say, that the only chance, I did say earlier on in the season that the only chance we really do have of winning this game is if Derrick Henry is out. So, we'll see how that plays out. Anyway, I'll get back to that in a second. Ryan Tannehill was 23 of 33, 265 with 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Derrick Henry led the way, 28 rushes, 68 yards, and a 2-4. Ryan Tannehill added 2 for 26 and a 13 average. A.J. Brown led the way in receiving, 10 of 11, 155 and a touchdown. Jeremy McNichols, 3 of 3 for 33. Geoff Swain, 4 of 5, 23 and a score. Michael Pruitt, 2 of 2, 22. Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, 2 of 3, 16, and a score. You know, and is Adrian Peterson Derrick Henry? No. Is he the Adrian Peterson of old? No. But I think that actually was a pretty solid signing and should allow them to continue to do what they do on offense and lean heavy into the run game. And I mean, you know, even if we get lucky and Derrick Henry still is out for the game that we play against them in week 17, even if that's the case, which would be nice, you know, I would personally rather them not play him so he can get the full rest time and be ready for the playoffs. And I think that just overall that actually would be the smart thing to do, so that way they can have him fresh for the playoffs. And I could see, you know, the only way that they would really want to bring him back sooner, I mean, maybe not the only way. If they feel like he's ready, they'll probably play him. But, like, you know, obviously if for some reason they started losing games over the past few or the next few weeks, and their playoff aspirations started to become in jeopardy, they would probably bring him back sooner. But, you know, I personally obviously would like to see them rest him and get him ready for the playoffs, especially too because I am curious to see how the Titans can do in the playoffs this season. You know, so anyway, either way though, I think it's going to be a tough matchup, and Adrian Peterson by that time is going to have like 7 weeks to prepare and get up to speed with their playbook and so on. So, you know, I still think it's going to be a tough matchup, and even if Derrick Henry's out, I'm still not really confident that this is a game we can win. But you never know, any given Sunday, right? So let's take a look at these standings. Tennessee is currently 8th in total yards with 3,017, 11th in per game average with 377.1. They're 13th in total passing with 2,013 yards on the season, 19th in passing yards per game, which is 251.6. Rushing, they are 3rd in the league with total with in total with 1,181, and 4th in per game average with 147.6. They're currently 6th or 5th after ties included in total points with 227, and 6th in points per game with 28.4. Defensively, and there are some opportunities here, this team does let up some yards and some points. There are some opportunities here against their defense, but overall still a very tough sell, and they have been playing better and better as the year's gone on in general. Yards per game, they're giving up 368.1, which is 22nd. Passing yards, 283.5, which is 24th. Rushing yards, they're giving up only 100.8, which is currently 8th. Points per game, they're giving up 24.2, which is 22nd or 18th after ties. Takeaways, they have 11 on the season, which is actually currently 10th or 5th with ties. So they're pretty good in the takeaways department. In fact, they're 10th in all these categories. Obviously, it changes up with the ties. But interceptions, they have 7, 10th or 4th with ties. Fumbles, they have 4, 10th or 6th after ties. Sacks, they have 18 on the season, which currently has them at 17th or 7th with ties included. Passes defense, they have 38, which is 6th or 3rd with ties. And they're 16th in the league in third down percentage at 40.6. So they do actually have a pretty solid defense overall. And like I said, they are getting better generally over the course of the season. Offensively and defensively for the Dolphins, these are the league standings, so you can take a look at that. And that is going to wrap up this video, this scouting report video for the Tennessee Titans in Week 8. Before I get out of here, make sure you check out the new fan-driven sports app, Rave On Sports, for all of your major sports leagues, whether it be NBA, NFL, MLB, college, whatever. Check that out. They're looking to enhance your game day experience with live play-by-play coverage, chats with other fans, and content creators like myself. Look in the description box for the links to that. And with that, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comments section. Of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at DillonTartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Phins up.